All right, so I know many of you are not aware who she is. She's Hannah B, and she's running a channel which name is the School of Affluence. And many people criticize her because she's basically making women to honor men of value. And what she means by that are men who are provider. And this can be criticized and maybe misunderstood. However, I would like just to place a click on her video, just to click in there, so you can just listen a little bit of what she's saying.
Let's dive into sign number one. You're dating a loser if he expects you to go 50-50 in the relationship with him, or if he wants to split the bill with you. Now, I'm not going to go too deep on this subject because I've already spoken so much on the subject on my channel, why I believe men should pay more than women in a relationship. But this is all bound to the fact that society is not equal for men and women. First of all, we are not 100% equals, and we can never become equals simply because biologically we are not built equally.
So when we talk about this word, it's very normal to think about women, especially because this type of dynamic has been a tradition all over these years. But what happens when are the men the one who are seeking out for women, who having a better, social economical position? Why is this seen negatively? So I would like you to stay in the video to analyze a little bit more about it, and especially to give my thoughts on it.
All right, so in this case, I need to support what she's saying, especially for the fact that there are women that just because they want to act like men, then they encounter this, their path, and they start having relationships with men who wants to apply this hypergamy. And these are the so-called feminine men. And when I think about the feminine men are the one who cannot be providers, especially because they are the one who's seeking women who basically takes care of them. So when I was thinking about this type of men or the description of these guys, which are not actually good news for you to have a relationship with, I thought about, Saeed from 90 Days. And whoever who hasn't watched this show, I just recommend you to watch some of the clips for you to realize what I'm talking about. So here I am just gonna place a clip about him and this lady who is actually older than him. And you realize that the dynamic is not healthy at all. And, I would like just to address a little bit what feminine man actually is. So this common experience with most women who have been in relationship, and topic is feminine men, it's not gay men. This is not actually what I'm addressing, but men with a very specific and very damaging and very alarming mindset. I want more women to become more aware of the men who are leeches and men who do not add value to your life. And I want more women to learn how to trust their intuition, and I want more of them to be able to spot the red flags. And I want them to become more aware of the type of men who are just not worth the effort or the time of the investment of your community. Sometimes these men are toxic. Sometimes these men are weak and unaccomplished. Sometimes they're lost and confused, or they lack direction. And most of the time, they really just don't know any better. And many feminine men simply aren't aware of how unattractive their mindsets are when it comes to dating and marriage. And when who have this aggressive mindset, they often compromise their masculine ability to lead and to gain respect as men when they have a feminine mindset. So I wanted to have a conversation about feminine men because what makes a man, it's not his word, but his actions. So ladies, when I say feminine men, people tend to think gay or feminine men or the alphabet community. But I'm talking about men who say they are attracted to women and men who express themselves as heterosexual. The feminine men are men who expect women to take care of them. But in terms of feminine energy, some heterosexual men can be very passive aggressive. They can be indecisive, they can make a lot of poor decisions. They can be petty, they can be argumentative, they can be overly emotional to the point where their emotionally becomes a substitute for having a vision and a masculine purpose for themselves. And effeminate men are often unaware of how much their energy, their input is aligned with their femininity. And this feminine energy sabotages and compromises a man's ability to be standout, protector, and provider. So just like a lot of women who are lost on the art of how to look good and are lost on their femininity and how to use it, are a lot of men are kind of lost on their masculinity. And in spite of what women are wired to be attracted to, which is protection, stability, and security, a lot of feminine men reject the notion that it is a man's role to provide. So let's talk about masculine men for a bit. A masculine man, ladies, is basically a man who's natural provider and protector. A masculine man is always looking for opportunities to financially expand for himself and his family. A feminine man will always look for excuses. A masculine man will never wholesale abandon his children or allow his children to be financially provided by someone else. A masculine man is at his best when he's providing and protecting, and he wouldn't have it any other way because he is connected to his vision for himself and his family and his purpose. And the opposite of a masculine man is a feminine man. A feminine man reject the notion of being providers. Feminine men are the biggest advocates of the 50-50. And a lot of women in the middle of that relationship, they want to drive the boat, right? And they want to turn that man into something he's not. So she and this girl and many of these women who are basically, related to this type of men want them to become provider, want them to become very, masculine. But you have to accept the reality of how they are and basically walk away. So these are the type of men that Hannah from School of Affluence is telling you to be away from, to walk away from. She's not actually talking about being someone who's just seeking material benefits, but also being aware of avoiding these situations that are not really good for you.